Hey everybody, welcome to Special Report. I'm sporting a new Special Report t-shirt. That'll be coming out soon. But Special Report on front, the other morning show on back. I have today Brother Judah Awoke from 7 Mile Radio. You know, he's been down with the show for damn near the beginning, since we've been rolling this thing out. I'm so happy to have you here, Brother Judah.
Oh man, no problem, man. I love to be on your show, man. Like I said, I'm a fan. I'm not only on the show, but shit, I'm a fan of the show, man. Y'all keep doing what y'all doing, brothers.
Hey man, we just gotta keep on. The thing is, I always said me and Dimag started this thing, not like anything serious or nothing like that. It was just a thing, right? And it just just get bigger and bigger. You know what I'm saying? So.
Mm-hmm. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. All right. So let's just jump right into it. That Trump's having some issues with Mueller. All right. You had Comey and all of them up east, because you're closer to Washington than I am. Are the people getting a general sense, especially like in your city of Detroit, like they're just getting sick of the government in general?
Well, it's been sick of the government before that. Like I said, Flint and all that happened, Wade, Kalamazoo, all that had government since of the Democrats and the Republicans. And we really don't have nowhere to turn because we're getting fucked from both ends.
Yes.
Which is meaning both the Democrats and the Republicans. I mean, really, I'm thinking it's time to go independent and start our own.
Exactly. That's totally what I'm about. I'm totally about the independent, basically relying on yourself, relying on just your God-given talents. I think what it is, a lot of us have fallen into the belief that everyone, you're going to be rich one day, or you're going to be this one day or that one day. And that can be no farther from the truth. We cannot have 1 million CEOs and no workers. We cannot have 1 million chiefs and no Indians. So therefore, when we live in this society where the first time I meet you, brother, I'm like, okay, Brother Judah, where do you work at? And I'm only asking you where you work at so I can put you in a certain category. You know what I'm saying? So we have to get away from, money should not be. Money is just like any other tool. If I talk to a carpenter, I'm not looking at this man like he's a hammer or a saw. If I talk to an engineer, I'm not looking at him like he's a compass or a ruler. So money, once again, is just a tool. The character of the person that you're talking to, that's what it's about. And I think that's where we're missing the mark as a society.
Well, I had a show earlier, and the main topic was blackface issue, which product put out a product which represented the blackface monkey with red lips.
Oh man!
But it was only debuted for a short time, and so what we came to a conclusion is that Prada really is using the racist narrative to further monetary gain, right?
Right.
Because it's Christmas time, and we're going to use this racist approach that's going on, which right now, racist is popping right now. I guess it's hot. It's trending.
It is hot.
Right? Racist shit is trending, and that's sad. You know what I'm saying? So Prada is going to piggyback off this shit, which putting out monkey purses and monkey trinkets and keychains, but they're going to pull it. But that brief moment of racial success within the internet is going to increase their stocks, right?
Right.
Off racism, matter of fact, off racism. And so we get to the point to where most of these companies that we're wearing and we're supporting, it's becoming what can I say? They're becoming our enemy.
They're becoming the very force. Like you hear all the time, the country's trying draconian measures, right? Well, draconian was, authoritative, tyrannical government, and that's where we're at, Judah. We're at a tyrannical government. You know, I mean, it's not to the point to where they're rounding people up and sending them to death camps. Okay, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying we're definitely on that trajectory. We're definitely heading in that direction.
Okay, well, I'm at this point to where the death camps is the TV and advertising right now that's leading us into foreclosures. It's leading us into no gain of money. It's leading us into bankruptcy.
Right. Right. It is.
Did you get me? And that's their approach, because if we spend our most of our time and effort on materialistic things, then we have no effort to put to the things that we really need and cherish and to gain in life, as far as houses, land, gold, metals, and such. That the foreigners is already hip to. Because America right now, as you can see, we're not rocking gold and all of that. Who's rocking all the gold right now?
It's over there in Dubai. Dubai is.
Okay. So where you think all the gold that's sitting in our vaults is? Do you really think we got all the gold sitting in our vaults that we got?
Now, see, that's very interesting. I actually talked to a gentleman 2 days ago off air about Fort Knox, because I want to do a story about it, but I know that, you know, Fort Knox has been done so many times, but you know, he's under the impression that we haven't had an audit of Fort Knox since the 80s or something, and even that audit was pretty suspicious because they only opened up one room and they let the guy into one room, not all the different vaults in there. So listen, you know, I have been told by many different people that the gold was carted away during the 60s, 70s, and 80s out of the country. And you know what? I'm almost to the point to believe in it, because think about it. In the 70s, we went off the gold standard. So therefore, you know, who cares if we have gold here? You know, the money's still going to flow, because now the Federal Reserve can just print this stuff out of thin air without being basically tied to anything real.
And listen to this. I'm gonna tell you how the foreigners is really onto the gold standard or the metal standard, because Gaddafi was leaning towards the same thing, and he was killed.
Yeah, he was pop. I mean, and you know what? For those who have not checked this out, Google Gaddafi's murder. All right, and then Google Hillary Clinton's comment on his murder. Look, I saw that film of him being dragged in the street, and you know what? Okay, he's a dictator, whatever. But you know, at the end of the day, that was somebody's baby. That was somebody's brother. That was somebody's son being just, you know, kicked, beaten. You know, his dead body just pushed through the street like that, and it affected me. And you got to understand, the only reason why that man ended up in the street like that, he had the audacity to try to go up against the global bankers, to try to set up an economic situation for the continent of Kemet or Africa. All right. So we got to understand the play here. Listen, we don't go to war to free anybody. Know that, you know, it's not about freedom. It's about our corporations getting into that country and getting out the resources at bottom dollar. That's all it's been about. And it's sad that so many of our young men and women, when you see those veterans walking around with, you know, the leg missing from the knee down, or the leg missing all the way, or the arm missing, okay? You got to understand, those folks at Halliburton got paid. This woman lost their limb. Halliburton got paid. And all I'm saying, it is what it is, okay? But now Halliburton should be cutting every veteran that served in those wars from 2001 till now a check. They need to get a piece of the fucking pie too. They put blood, sweat, and fucking tear into the game. And all we're going to give them is, hey, I'm sorry, we can't treat your fucking ailment. I'm sorry, we can't give you medication. I'm sorry. No, Halliburton, get your checkbook out and start writing, and we're going to take care of our veterans.
Well, I'm going to bring it in the 360 right now to where if the American public is more interested in materialistic things and branding and naming and all that, and you have your foreign population that comes over to absorb most of your resources, your gold, your silver, your land, and all that, how future look for the kids, your grandkids?
Ooh, it doesn't look good at all. It looks very bleak. It looks about as good as our future with the baby boomers running up this debt during the Cold War for this weapon or that weapon or this program.
But listen to this. Our parents back in during the Cold War days, they still had the sense of ownership.
Right.
They still had the sense of buying gold.
Right.
They still had the sense of we have to own land. Nowadays, with the generation that's put forth to us right now, I call this the aftermath of the crack era. And I'm speaking to us. I'm not speaking to the majority. I'm speaking to the melanoid people and the brown people, the people that was native to this land when we was brought over here, and the people native to this land, right?
Right.
So look at our way of owning things today.
You mean leasing things?
And with the introduction of and the introduce of hip hop to our culture, plus the crack era. Look at how the youth look at ownership and owning things today. You get me? They have the youth more focused on diamonds, which we all know. After you buy diamonds, like buying a car off the lot, it depreciates in value. So no matter what type of diamond you got, if you don't have no type of rare diamond like Kobe Bryant and his wife is getting into, you're really not rocking real diamonds. Because the same diamonds that you get, you're only going to get half of what you paid if you're getting that. Now,
why would you only get half?
The real money is into the gold, the silver, the copper, the metals.
Yes.
But they're not going to teach our culture. Our culture is more focused on to Jordans and diamonds and non-ownership of things.
Leasing or renting.
Renting cars, leasing planes and things. You never hear of all the rappers that we have and all the entertainers they have. You don't have a black owner of private planes that's taking our entertainers around the world.
No, but explain it why. Because those entertainers.
Do you have a black Uber that really picks everybody up from major cities? You might have a couple.
But we don't. We know we don't.
Yeah, but you might have a few black ownership companies that go out there to certain cities. I can't say we don't have the zero, but it has to be at a 1 to 5%.
It's very low. And speaking of that, we only collectively control like 0.5% of this nation's wealth, and that's been ever since the Civil War days. Okay,
but how much do melanoid people spend during Christmas time? We are the most Christians of all Christians.
Right.
We are quick to say we are celebrating Christmas, but how much do we really own that's within Christmas, that's selling within Christmas? How much do we own the products that's sold within Christmas?
We don't. That's our Achilles heel. We're so quick.
We own the commercials that's selling us the products?
Nope.
Okay, we might own some of the music, but most of the music, the main music is sold to who? It's who owned the rights to that? The Aretha Franklins, the Tony Braxtons, the Mariah Careys, who own all that music?
Major record labels. They own the catalogs. The Jews.
Yeah, so if we're main supporters of Christmas, we're really not profiting off Christmas, right?
Right. We're not profiting. Listen, when it comes to those religious type deals and collectively black folks, we never prosper in any of those enterprises. The only people who prosper in those are the people who put that thing together. The preacher, the bishop, the elders, they all profit. But the average black man and woman and child really don't profit. I mean, yeah, they maybe have a food program or maybe an after school program for the kids, but collectively we're not profiting, and it's by design though. We got to really drive that home. It's by design. That's why if we don't come together, and not just black folks now, I'm talking about all folks in these United States of America, and really get on some true unity, the storm clouds are gathering on both coasts. The storm.
You can't really say of all cultures that's really together. We have to really focus on our culture first because we know that we're targeted.
Oh, absolutely.
We're a targeted population before the Ukrainians, the Chaldeans, the Indians, even the Somalians. We're targeted more than the Somalian population.
See, we don't have that big of a Somali population out here in Missouri. I don't really know, but we have the Bosnians, a lot of Bosnians.
Do you see Bosnians getting beat?
I see Bosnians presidents of banks, little regional banks. I see Bosnians integrated. I mean, the Bosnians that I'm talking about, they're not olive skin. They're basically Nordic looking, blonde hair, blue eyes. They have a funny accent, you know. I guess that's from their language or whatever. And that's about the only way you can kind of detect that they're not from here. If you look at the average Bosnian, and it's typically the women that are doing quite well in St. Louis. You can't tell.
Yeah, so they just slide into white culture easily.
Oh, extremely easily. Right? Extremely. Yeah.
Versus you have other cultures that come over here and they get hated on, but when they finally make it to a certain prestige, they shit on us.
Everybody, you know what? That's like the litmus test. You're cool until you make it. Then all of a sudden, you point the finger at the black man. You're like, you're not shit.
You got to shit on the blacks. Like I seen this video today with a Mexican girl on World Star saying how Mexican women, if they date blacks, they want to date blacks, but it's really a stigma to their culture because of how black man is looked upon as leaving women. But like she touched on, Mexican women do the same thing at the same rate.
Do what? Like leave their families?
Leave their families, or you have criminals within their family. It's the same thing that goes on with their culture, but it's always the black culture that's looked upon as the main culprit of this type of stigma. Right,
because of the scapegoat. But you know, to touch on the whole black man, different women loving him, is that honestly is when it really comes right down to it. Because on this topic, I talked to a lot of different females. They love us. They love black men because we are really caring. We really are kind. We really are protective of those that we love. We really are extremely protective of the things we love. All right.
Yeah.
You know, so that is a very appealing attribute. Now, the part that we're not good at, unfortunately, is uniting as brothers in a common cause. We're not good at that. You know, we're great independent.
We're engineered that way to where we have grown up in the last 50 years of not trusting each other due to civil rights movement, of us double-crossing. People have got killed because of some black people. Yeah, the crack era where people turn states, people turn feds.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that right there destroyed the black trusting image and not the character of us, not amongst each other, but to the world.
Right. And listen, nobody likes a snitch. I'm sorry, people just don't. Okay. And the thing is, we have a reputation of being like the crab in the bucket. You know, one of us is trying to get out, and a whole bunch of us will pull our pinchers up there and grab him or her and pull them back down.
But we went from the total African male or the African person to the African American person, to where the African now is disrespecting you. Right. They're saying, "Oh yeah, don't hang with the African Americans.
They're not about shit.
They're crackheads, and they're users, they're swindlers, the whole nine."
But you know, the funny thing about that, do these people now understand? I'm speaking specifically on the brothers and sisters from Africa trying to act bourgeois. The redneck that would look at me and call me a no good nigger will be the same redneck that would look at them and call them a no good nigger as well. Because when it comes down to racism, it's only skin deep. Seriously, that's all it is. So I'm not saying that you should lower your standards. If you feel being kind and being involved with us is lowering your standard, I'm telling you, it's in your best interest to work with us to build a bridge. And then it's in all of our collective best interest once we get our shit together to work with each other to build a better humanity.
But like I said, even here in Michigan, like I tell people, we have two types of Caucasians. We have your Caucasians well, this is just in my area. I'm going to say in the area of Detroit, which is southeastern Michigan. We have two types of white people just in this area. You have your downriver white people, which is the more the factory workers, you know, the blue collar people, which I would compare them if you go down south to like the swamp area, or you know what I'm saying, how they compare to the swamp area people in New Orleans or Florida, right?
Right.
Then we have the hills people. We have Bloomfield Hills, Farmington Hills, which is the white collar people that absorb everything out of southeastern Michigan. You get me? And they move to the hills. Now, them are two type of Caucasians, and they don't like each other. This racism within white, because a downriver white person wouldn't really coincide with a person from the hills. It's two different cultures. It's two different type of people.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in the end, them two type of people, even though they hate each other, will come together against us.
Yes.
As a collective.
Yes. Because there's
you know, even though it might be black people in the hills, that same black person in the hills will be looked upon from a person from downriver as you still ain't better than me because, you know what I'm saying, I'm white.
And see, that right there is the biggest Achilles heel to bridge the gap between the working poor whites and the working poor blacks. Because at the end of the day, like you just said, the white boy's going to look at the black guy and say, you know, at least I'm not black, you know, and as if that really means something in this day and age.
That's right.
You know, because last time I checked, whether you're white or black, you don't pay your rent, they're still evicting you. The last time I checked, you're white or black, you don't pay your electric, your gas, your cable, your car insurance, your life insurance, health insurance, and all that good stuff. They'll drop your policy just like that. So, you know, a lot of that is just for the mind. It's just so that, you know, when you're sitting there in your little trailer or whatever, you can be like, oh, you know, you see some black guy on TV, you know, living fat and shit. Well, at least I'm not a blah, 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 blank. You know what I'm saying? So that's just for their comfort. All right. And sad thing about it, you know, many of us desire to have that same comfort. You know, many of us desire to want to be able to shit on people and shit without any regards, you know, which is wrong. You know, we have to get to the point, man, where we evolve in our consciousness to realize there's more to all of this than just the hate and the fear. All right. There's enough hate and fear to go around. We have to kill that shit. We have to kill our hate. We have to kill this fear if we want to progress. If we don't want to progress, then fuck it, brother. Then let's just go right back to sleep. I'm gonna start calling you Judah asleep, and I'm TruePowerIsMine, and this thing will continue on down the way. But if we want to change this thing, and I know you want to change because I want to change it, we're going to have to build this network and work together and change it over the long haul. This ain't gonna happen, man, in a year. It's not going to happen in 2 years or 3. You know, get the single digit. We're talking tens of years. You know, it might be 20, 40 before this really comes to fruition. But if we don't really commit ourselves to the task at hand, it's not going to happen naturally. I'm telling you that much.
Well, I'm watching a series that I ran for people out there. It's called Handmaid's Tale. HANDMAID_S, all one word. Tale, TALE, is on Hulu. And I recommend that to pretty much everybody that's probably listening to the show, because that right there is giving you a blueprint to really what is really going to go on for the future. Because right now you have the Caucasians that's really not having kids at a high rate. So really they're going to use pretty much the rest of the world, which is of melanoid sub-Saharan descent, as having their babies.
But what about the one? But what about the one drop rule, brother? You know how they go. You got one drop of black blood in you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I don't want to drop too much to the series. It's on Hulu. Maybe some of y'all got Fire Sticks. You know, y'all can watch it on that. It's called Handmaid's Tale. Okay. And it really gives you a clear blueprint to, you know, we have all this mess in our food, the pollution in the air, the water, the bad water is really helping decrease fertility within women and decreasing
sperm count
within males, right?
Right.
Really, a lot of people our grandfather, I'm speaking from a melanoid perspective, we had a bunch of babies. You still have a few people within the melanoid population have kids, you know, but it's lessening up right now within even our culture. So within the next 20 years, it's going to be a problem with fertilization.
So, I mean, are you suggesting that this is like
touch on, because they get to the point to where we're going to have martial law. It's going to be a bunch of rebellion because of this, and because of the decrease of population, and it's going to cause an upward to where they're going to have to shut down a certain sector of the United States to only repopulate the colonies. Because right now we only in colonies. This is really all Britain, owned by the Queen. You know, that's another story.
No, that is the story. See. This is what I keep trying to tell people. You know, in my day-to-day travel. You know, everyone keeps saying, you know, dude that owns Amazon, richest man, or dude that owns this, richest man, dude that owns that. No, they may be the richest man, but the richest person is truly the Queen of England. Truly, she is the Queen of England.
As you see, they have the new movie, Mary, Queen of Scots. They keep want to publicize the royalty from across the pond. But really, that royalty is fully tainted if you look into the history of England, Scotland, and Ireland. Really, they didn't even give a fuck about each other.
No, they didn't.
Really, the 90s, early 2000s, when they start cleaning themselves up and really start being Great Britain, right?
Right.
Because if they was worn out with Ireland and Scotland and all that shit was war zone, right?
Yeah, the IRA, Irish,
the IRA and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? We can go back to car bombing, people blowing up, the churches blowing up, the whole nine, right?
Right. So
Ireland and Scotland, shit, they just really got that shit really intact. You know what I'm saying? So right now they wanna with the marrying of the black princess.
To Prince Harry or whatever.
Harry and all that. Now they want to bring all these Queen movies back again and glorify Mary Queen Scots and the Queen Elizabeth, the whole nine. All that is really brainwashing us because it's really no culture movies for us. The melanoid people that's coming out this winter, right at the end of December. Do you see any black movies that's really talking about our culture coming out?
I haven't ever really seen a true movie that depicted our culture for real. I mean, even when you think of Menace Society or Boys in the Hood and all those movies from the 80s and 90s.
No, even telling our history. You know what I'm saying? It's really based on everything is English.
Oh yeah. Did you not know? You didn't. Your history didn't start until slavery. Nor did mine. You know, apparently.
Yeah, and the only queens and kings we had was of English descent.
Just like basically all the leaders in Africa are still basically rubber stamped by European powers. That's why it's still in the state that it's in.
Some people over there, and I want to say Nigeria or I don't know, Guinea, that still wear blonde wigs while they in court. George Washington looking wigs.
Yeah, those little and the powdery face and shit.
I would say Nigeria. There's a lot of them over there that's still colonized. That they still have. And even some of the countries that have kicked out some of the European countries, they still adopt some of the European laws and constitutions.
Right. You know, I thought that was always weird. If you remember the war on the drugs, you know, that we're still having, it's so funny. It seems like every drug that was illegal here in America, it was also illegal all over the world. Is as if, I mean, except for modern day, of course, we all know Portugal, all drugs are legal, and several other countries, certain drugs are legal. But it's like, how the hell we can't come together on trade, we can't come together on distributing these resources, but magically we always can come together on we all say that these drugs are illegal or these drugs are legal. You know what I mean? And I just find it so funny that when you look at how the secret societies, such as the Masons, the Rosicrucians, and all these others operate, if you really look at the end game, all the modern version is just to ensure Western cultural dominance on the world scene. They'll use religion, they'll use business, and then they'll use political and military power to achieve that.
Well, I've been reading a few books right now. It's called one of them is called "The Devastation of the Indies." I think it was written by Bartholomew. You can get it on Amazon. Another one is "The Instruction of Religion to Black Negroes in America." I think that's the title. I'm reading. I'm just starting that one. I can't tell you. It's written by a white man, but as I was reading these books, it gives an account on how they use Christianity in the book while raping and pillaging the people. Because in one book, The Devastation of the Indies talks about each island having kings and queens. Each island, far as Haiti, your Puerto Rico, your Jamaica, each one had a king and queen. Mm-hmm. And they went to each island pillaging and enslaving the people, even though the people was complying. So what you got to look at today as regentrification is the same thing as the devastation of the Indies.
Oh, wow.
It's where they're going into these neighborhoods, pillaging, raping, taking kids, killing melanoid people for their own gain of the land, because right now the white Caucasian is baroque.
You better believe it. You better believe it. A lot of folks are broke out here.
Hold up, and not just they're broke, they're peeled out. They're on opiates.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand, take the crack era, what our generation went through, the crack era times 5.
Well, let me just put it in perspective like this, brother. The other day, 2 days ago, I haven't released this film. I probably won't. I filmed a heroin overdose in progress. I have the film right now. I don't know if I'm going to release it or not. You know,
we don't want to get in trouble.
I mean, it's crazy because the way it is, you have the American flag in front of it. All right. On the film, you see the American flag, then you see the people on the ground, the paramedics, police all around, people running around. It's such a powerful image, you know. And it's like, look, the opioids, and let me tell you this. A couple years ago, I was on a ladder, fell off. Went to the emergency room, you know, and they would not give me nothing for pain. They literally would not give me anything for pain. Talking about Tylenol and this and that. And okay, that's cool. A buddy of mine, all right, had back problems. He's also a fellow carpenter. They gave this dude those what do they call it? Those Percocets back in the day. They gave him Percocets, right? Now that dude's strung out on the shit. You know, it's like he's on the dope. You know, the actual heroin. All right. So, you know, you got to look at it like a double-edged sword. Yeah, was it inconvenient for me to go through fucking all the pain and shit? Yes. But at least I'm not fucking, you know, sitting here with a damn needle on my arm trying to do something.
I'm gonna tell you one excellent thing that you can do, and you can give me a white trailer area or a regular white area within Missouri near your area. Go to the unemployment office or to the welfare area around that where it's predominantly white. Mm-hmm. Go there and film and act some of the stories with some like $10, $15 per story and see what you get. and see what type of people that you run into. See, won't you be broke once you come out of there with $100 or $200? Because everybody's going to have a story and a problem. Yes. And they're not going to be of color.
No, look. I mean, you can go literally 15 minutes from where I'm broadcasting at right now, and you will see straight up poverty. I mean, people are out there right now with no wood burning stove, no heat, no nothing. You know, sitting there in their house.
Well, I'm gonna say like this, True, right? That's where we need to go and start filming. That's where we need to start going and showing the people the devastation, not only the Indies that they did back in the day, of the colonies.
Devastation of the colonies. I think that would be good because most people don't see that. They don't realize that that's really going on.
Like the book Devastation of the Indies, it tells you how they came over there and they raped, even though people was nice. They was accepting. They threw babies into the water. Now, look at the colonies.
Yeah, I heard about that. They were using babies as alligator bait.
No, this is before the alligator bait. They was going on islands. I'm telling you, the book, True. You have to read it. And I think the book is only $10 on Amazon.
No, that's nothing.
You got to get the real one. You can go on eBay, Amazon. It's about $10. I think I got it for like $7, $8. You know what I'm saying? I go in there. I try to get as much black books or books that's written by people in account of the past as I can on Amazon. Because right now, Amazon is the key to us learning through literature. Because you can go on there and get eBay too. Don't just look at eBay and just buy it. They have so much literature on Amazon and eBay for cheap, used ones. You don't have to buy a new.
Yes, I mean the knowledge will be new to you, but who cares what as long as the book is legible and it's not all busted up.
Yes, no, it's not all fucked up, but they have used books on there that's basically new. That they have a bunch of sources, people that selling stuff from like you got your thrift stores selling stuff. You got your reputable people. Like I said, it's so much literature on there for sale right now. And I recommend people to some of them sites first, and then the other sites from other websites. Go on there for rare books that you can't get on Amazon and all that. Go to there, but mainly a lot of books is on Amazon and eBay right now, overstock, and they just sitting. And we're not the ones reading them.
But we're the ones who need to read them.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, can you tell us what you guys got coming up for 7 Mile? Like any special guests, anything like that?
Well, we deal with a lot with Asir, the Duketeers Pizza. My man Duke Asir, the Duketeers. You know what I'm saying? We work with him with the more thing. We're trying to later on work with hopefully some new conscious people. You know what I'm saying? We have Blue on there. Like I said, I've been talking to Blue Pill. Hopefully we can get Red on there. We got some people within Detroit, organizations within Detroit.
Well, isn't Irate Genie or Irritated Genie? Isn't he from up in Detroit area? He's a conscious guy.
Detroit is full of conscious people, man. I'm learning about people every day within Detroit and outside of Detroit, man. Like I said, the conscious community is only growing right now. And you got even Nick Cannon going conscious. You got LeBron going conscious. So conscious right now is a big department within YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, you know what I'm saying, and the other little sites that's out there, you know what I'm saying. So
what I mean, like the conscious, okay? And let's clear this up, you know, for folks that's not familiar with that. Is it a religious type deal or is it just a political type deal?
Conscious focus on the truth and reality, and it have different perspectives on it.
Right, but because a lot, I mean, like a lot of people.
It's mainly focused on the truth within the truth. Getting the truth out of your TV, getting the truth about yourself, getting the truth out of these books, learning the truth. That's the conscious, tapping into that conscious side of your brain.
Right, right. I mean, granted, we all
mainly with conscious is, and you got a lot of people, a lot of brands right now, even Nike, that's monetizing off consciousness.
Oh yeah,
you got a lot of companies right now monetizing off consciousness because they know, even though they don't like it, but it's money in it.
A lot of money. Listen, people are wanting truth, man. I'm telling you, they're tired of the lies. They're tired of the half truths, the quarter truths. They want the whole enchilada. They really do. But most of these people out here don't want to say the truth. You know the reason why? Because they was to say the truth, then guess what? Their little personal ATM machine will be closed for business. Because once the person gets the truth, then they get power, they get knowledge, and they don't need you no more. And people are scared of that. People who want to control other people, they want to keep us in ignorance so we can be readily controlled.
Yeah.
You know, so real quick, can you give us your website where people can go and see the show, see 7 Mile Radio?
Well, you know, we're on YouTube right now, YouTube Truth Talk Nation, or we also on Facebook up under 7 Mile Radio Truth Talk. It's not Truth Talk Nation up on there, but you can get us under Truth Talk up under Facebook, 7 Mile Radio. Also catch Judah Awoke Ace under on Instagram. Also have a Cash App, Judah Awoke with an AWOKEACE, all one word, Judah Awoke Ace Cash App. That you can also hit me. You know what I'm saying, and keep this consciousness going, man. Because shit, for 2019, man, I have a bunch of plans, man.
And we need funding. What about Patreon? You got a Patreon account?
Not yet. I'm not on Patreon. Not yet. But
okay.
I'm getting there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm doing so much shit. I have to have time to actually set everything up and implement everything.
Oh, I understand. But as soon as you get that, let me know. I'll blast that out to me because I think it's more important that we get the funding to the people that will actually properly utilize it than just give it to the people that's just going to take it and blow it and you're not going to see any effect.
I know I used it as far as I think Black Magic got one. I think Professor Griff, but it works on with your site. What you got to put videos on there like YouTube, right?
Right. You know, and then also you need to promote it. You know, like you got a great platform with your radio station, you know, with your radio show. Get on there, and then you can also push it on your YouTube and Facebook platforms as well, and Instagram as well. But once you get that assigned link to just your Patreon, you just post that everywhere. And we, you know, I mean, I think like what I would love to see for 7 Mile. I mean, I don't know, you know, like how mobile your like your studio is or whatever. But, you know, you guys aren't that far from New York City, are you?
About 9 hours, though. So 9, 10 hours.
Oh, that's too far. I was thinking, like, maybe you guys could do a broadcast from Times Square or something, get out there and mix it up with the people. But that's...
within Detroit, we're 3 hours from Toronto, like 4 hours from Chicago. We have a range of areas we can broadcast from Cleveland, the whole 9. But what we more focusing on in 2019, Truth Talk, even with 7 Mile Radio, is that we want to become mobile.
Right.
And hopefully we can come out there to St. Louis and set up somewhere in a restaurant, somewhere, you know what I'm saying, y'all or a studio, however y'all want it. Come out there and do a live interview, and also we're going to start going out to some of these people that we interview into their hometowns.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Just get out there and mix it up. Mix it up.
Yeah, so that's the plan for Truth Talk Nation of next year, to where we're gonna start going on a road and doing live interviews with the people that we're interviewing with now, like far as y'all in St. Louis. Probably go down to Miami, hit with a Sear, go to like Harlem, LA, things like that. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna need some funding too. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna need some funding through the Patreon, through the Cash App. You know what I'm saying, to help us achieve, the next level for Truth Talk Nation.
Are there? Do you have any conference dates set up or anything?
No, not yet. Like I said, we're a newly conscious group or site, as you're saying, or company, however you want to say it. So we just basically brainstorming some new ideas.
Yeah. And that's what it takes.
Hopefully we coming out with some new shirts and merchandise and stuff. And that 2019 is looking pretty good. But you know what I'm saying? Like, right now, we only been in the mix basically since summer.
Yeah. The 6 months.
You know, so we really new to this. You know what I'm saying? True. We're really new to this. So this type of support and this type of love from a bunch of people, we really, you know what I'm saying, support it, and we really love it, and 2019 can only be bigger.
That's what I'm talking about. See, you got the right attitude. You know what I mean? You got the right attitude. You're building on this. You've been building on this for 6 months. Get that foundation straight, build on that, and keep it moving.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, what we're doing now, we're only going to innovate it and hopefully take it to the next level. Like I said, we want to take it on the road. And I've been looking at some tools and some stabilizer sticks and all that, to where I can go out in the field and hopefully do a good interview with no problem, even from a cell phone. Because our cell phones basically right now is mobile cinemas.
Mobile cinemas. Yeah, it is.
You know what I'm saying? So you can really do that 4K, the high definition, everything. So you can basically do on your phone what you can do on a laptop.
Yes, literally make a true, good quality video that, because let's be honest, is your videos grainy or this or that, people are just going to shut you down. They're not going to, they don't care. It's all about the presentation for the most part.
But like I said, that's pretty much the thing we got for Truth Talk Nation, and we work with Mark from 7 Mile Radio, and so like I said, 2019 is only going to look better, bigger and better.
Yeah, I'm glad. Like I said, I'm glad that through this journey of life, I got into contact with you. We chop it up off the air as we do on the air, and it's just that you're just another part of the bigger network that we're building. A real network of people. Not some pretendo thing. And when we get there, man, and we look at all these old videos that we did, it's just gonna be like you're just gonna be able to see the progression. You're just gonna be able to see it, because I know for a fact that the people that I talk to out here on the streets, they know stuff's not right. I mean, brother. Most people are really aware that there's secret societies running the government. Most people really are aware that the government is like the most dangerous entity, that you're really going to have to deal with in this life. It's not going to be terrorists. It's not going to be some gangbanger or some hater. It's going to be literally the government. And we also realize that government should work for the people. That's the most fundamental thing. It should work for the people. But this one doesn't. It does not. And that's why, and I just came up with this the other day after talking, and it's like we need to come up with a plan to form a constitutional convention. And the purpose for the new constitutional convention is to really put this country on the right track. We will address the racist issue. We'll address the sexist issue. We'll address the sexual orientation issue and the animal issue. And we will take all of this and make the nation that we really should have, and not this situation that a bunch of slave owners kind of came up with and said it's freedom and called it good, because it's not good. It's not good for a lot of good people. You know, a lot of good people have suffered underneath the system. A lot of good people have literally been wasted away in jail. You know, there's that girl, I forget her name. She was a prostitute, kills one of the tricks, able to get away, and now they're going to put this little girl, 16 years old, in jail for the rest of her life. I believe it's down in Tennessee. So we got to understand, man. Look, I'm not naive. There's some very evil people out there, dude. Very, very evil people that would just as soon cut your throat than to shake your hand. I'm saying we have to make laws to deal with those people. And we cannot allow those people's behavior to keep the rest of us in this like me versus you mentality. Because at the end of the day, when the enemy comes in and conquers this bitch, whether it be economically or military or a combination of the two, they're not going to give a shit what you're claiming. Only thing they're going to know is you're not one of them. And that's a wrap. So,
yeah, well, you know, what's going on, like I said, it's a bunch of BS right now. They want to stop consciousness with the net neutrality and all that. You know what I'm saying? But, like I said, Hulu, for whoever out there, and watch The Handmaid's Tale. Check that out. And also go on Amazon and eBay and gather some of these conscious books. Get as much literature as you can right now, because one day you might not be able to get all this shit that you're getting right now because they're trying to cut all this shit out.
They are cutting this shit out. Listen, the internet has had a negative. Now, for the most part, you know, the internet has been very good for the powers that be because it keeps promoting their ideology. But then you have random shows like this one, yours, Dimebag's show, other folks' show out there. Hell, even Alex Jones, throw him in the mix. And now it's an issue. Now it's a problem. All right? The problem is this, guys. As long as you believe that Federal Reserve is federal, you're cool. As long as you believe that this is the home of the free and land of the brave, you're cool. As long as you believe that being rich means you're blessed and being poor means you're cursed, you're golden. But the moment you sit there and you think, now, how do these people get their wealth again? Oh, through criminal activities. Well, they're not nothing to worship. Okay, now how free are we again? If I type this in the chat box, I can go to jail. Oh, there it goes, that one. And then the other one is just as see-through as the rest of it. We have been lied to, Judah, is what I'm saying. I'm going to tell you
like this, true. Right now, you have a war going on between, and this is between in America. And I'm going to say within America right now, starting to go global right now. You have a war going on between the Generation X and the millennials and the elders. Which the elders have their way of seeing things that they have always seen without the internet. Without information. I ain't going to say all of them, because you have some of the elders right now on board that they have brought the information to us. They already knew this shit. You have most of the people, they're retirees, and they have worked within the system, retired, and they're doing good. Some was regular, some just on some other shit. But the elders' way of thinking is not our way of thinking on down. And I'm not gonna say that in the past, but it's always been the cultures that have outgrown or grown the elders or such through technology or through information. But right now you have so much information that's going on with the computers. The elders, which we have a lot of them in Congress right now, they don't really care for the information that we're getting on the net. They want it to stop. Because they feel like it's really
it's hurting their ability to influence the bullshit in their grandkids.
By you learning and you getting on there learning whatever the hell you want, it's really against the system, because we should be able to determine what you learn.
Right. And they do for the most part.
But that's how it has been. When we was young, when we went to school, we learned the way Thanksgiving was through textbooks that they put out. As we got older through the net, the internet grew, we learned that Thanksgiving ain't really what the fuck
it's built to be.
And the kids really is learning that, because now they calling it Indigenous Day. They really learning that Christopher Columbus didn't find this. We didn't have all this information back in the day. So the elders back then, right now, how they looking at it and saying, well, they're learning for a more faster pace. We need to slow this down because we need to double check some of the information that they're learning.
It's fake.
It might not be accurate, right?
Right. That's exactly what, the fake news, the fake this, the fake that.
Yeah, you got the fake news. We don't want y'all learning about this. And you have some of your own people within your own culture saying this too. Oh, yeah, that internet, yeah, y'all can't be believing everything on there. I understand you can't believe everything on the internet, but goddamn it, they got books that lie to you.
But if you see a video on the internet, the guy says, look, go outside your house, the sun is yellow. And you go outside your house, you see the sun is yellow. And then some other fool's like, no, that's a lie. That's fake. People think these things. Listen, you didn't hear nobody back in the 70s when the Gulf of Tonkin happened. Oh, this is fake. Let's not invade Vietnam over this. Or when 9/11 happened, this might be, whatever. Or when anything happens, on a big major level that's kind of suspicious. Most people are just going to go with the official narrative because, for one, people can't handle the ridicule of thinking outside the box. Look, when 9/11 happened, all right, that day, I was basically a marketing director. I was traveling all the time. All right. I was woken to several phone calls. People asked me if I was in the airport, turned on the TV there, and I saw that second plane come in. Boom, right? Now, those were the only two planes I saw. Was the first one or the second one, and then I saw the first one on replay, right? But Building 7 comes down, and that wasn't even near the two towers for real. It comes down just, and then you start researching, well, what's so important about Building 7? Well, it's funny you ask. Building 7 had a lot of secret documents and secret, well, not so much secret, but a lot of the manifest for what the CIA and other entities were doing. So they basically blew that damn thing up and all that shit was gone. So, we got to understand that we're dealing with a beast. A true biblical, if you want to use these terms, beast that has, dare I say, supernatural qualities about it. Not like this one person out there magic. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there's some supernatural elements in this thing we're dealing with. That's why you just can't go head on to it, because it will destroy you. There's goons, there's hitmen, there's lawyers, there are accountants, all and cops and soldiers. That's all the system. It has all those people wrapped up. Now, if you're sitting here trying to be a revolutionary or we're going to overthrow blah, 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 you're going to be crushed. You cannot overthrow this thing. You have to change the people's minds. That's it. Because once you change the minds, then the hands will follow. And people will not be participating in the system to keep the system empowered.
Well, I always think a system can be overthrown through the knowledge that you absorb. A system can always be changed, because once a system learns that it can't overpower you, it would change itself. And that's like a computer. Once a computer learns that it can't overpower the person that's
operating
or operating it, that it's going to change to the person that's operating it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you let the computer operate you, which is trying to do, then that's what it's going to take its course.
But see,
but if you know what I'm saying? If you as the operator operated to where it won't take control, then
But see, that's the thing, though. This system that we're dealing with, it already knows it can overpower us. Look at Kent State. Those kids were out there protesting, shut down. Look at Ferguson. People out there protesting, shut it down. Look at Waco. Look at Ruby Ridge. Look at all these examples from a different strata of the society.
They got to learn the truth. They're learning from this. They have footage of this through what? Through cameras of technology. Everything that they're protesting, that we're protesting right now, they have footage and they're studying it. How can they stop this? Just like you said, all these protests right now, they have classes right now of federal agents studying this.
Right.
They're putting it into technology to how can we stop this? The first way they're going to stop a lot of this shit is through facial recognition.
Yes. Yes. Yes, they will. And that's
listen. China's already showing them that they can stop it through facial recognition, because they're using facial recognition to control their population through points, a point system.
And Apple and Google is helping China make that a reality. And a lot of people don't realize the most technologically advanced country in the world is what? Drum roll. When we're dealing with security issue, the nation state of Israel is the most technologically advanced country right now. So in 5
years, I put it in 5 years, maybe under 5 years, we're going to be up under technological security to where we ourselves is not going to really understand it, but we're going to be up under it. We're going to be learning as the day go on.
I mean, think about it. You know, what's going to happen when your employer, or no, not just the employer, but even the guy at the gas station, you know, no more cash, all right? You have to use this chip. You got to go to the gas pump, put your fist up there, beep, 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 and then you can pump your little gas. How are you going to operate without the damn chip? How are you going to do that?
Okay, it's another thing. How are you going to operate? How are you going to operate anything without an app on your phone that you have to register? Everything within the next 5 years, even your car, you're going to have to register it before you even drive it.
Yeah.
That way they know who got it, right?
Right.
It's going to say your car before you do everything. You're going to have to, before you buy your car, you're going to have to register within all Facebook, everything, before you even pull off. You're going to say, damn, I got to set up my email, all this.
Well, CI just posted something, or not CI, but CJ just posted something in the room that's very. Have you heard about Japan limiting their citizens from traveling abroad due to credit scores?
Oh yeah, that's like I said. The agents is already. The agents is the scientist to white supremacy.
It's like they picked up the banner and running with it.
They practice on they people, then they implement it in white society and European countries next. Right?
Right.
I mean, everything that they do, from car technology to controlling their public,
they beta test it on themselves and then send that information out. It's just like, you know, for traditionally black folks in the United States, what's the beta test for, you know, all kinds of processes, aerosol agents in the hood, stuff in the water, you know, stuff in our food, you know, the prisoners being sitting there and made to eat processed food for years just to see how it affects the body. Come on, man, this is inhuman. This is not normal. It's not right.
I know Japan. I thought that was China that was doing the credit score. Japan is still up under an American type system. China is up under communism. So I don't think it's Japan, but I think it's China. But I want to check the facts because I'm not near a computer right now. I'm near my phone, but I want to say that's China that's really implementing the travel ban, or their citizens due to
their social score
to facial recognition.
That's one thing I just want to say, you know, because we're basically at our time limit here. But one thing I want to say, and hopefully the people hear this: whatever goes around comes around. That means if your wealth is built upon slavery, built upon pornography, built upon prostitution, all that, it might not hit you, but it's going to hit your family later on down the way. And the only way to offset that is to do the right thing now while there's still time. Because if you hold on to your hate's gonna kill you in the end.
Well, it's kind of, let me add this. It's kind of hard to do the right thing when you're greedy.
Well, this is the perfect thing. We all should strive to live our lives with integrity, without hate, envy, or greed.
Yeah, but right now the world is focused on greed and self.
Yes.
Right now, everybody takes a selfie. Everybody's about to selfie.
Men are lovers of themselves nowadays. Men are lovers of themselves.
It's what I see the future is in America, and even it's being a cancer to the rest of the world, has been a selfish place to live in the future. And it's already in movies that hold on to where no one's going to give a damn about. Even if you're dying on the side right there, they're going to keep going as to where they have to live their life.
Right. Because the driving force behind that, brother, is money.
Yeah.
You can be as kind and pathetic as you want to, but if you don't got money for the bills and shit, your shit will all be cut the fuck off.
It's like even in like I said, the TV show, The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu, the elders is a problem too. So really, the society is going to start not caring about the elders.
Mm-hmm.
And, so like life is moving fast to where, saying, the middle people from teenage on up should only care about life. After you get old, then we don't give a damn about you.
Because we're about ready to die ourselves. Look, no society can survive if it does not care about its young and its old. All right. I mean, yeah, when you're in that middle space, you can take care of yourself, do some work, but eventually this body, it starts shutting down. That back starts hurting. These arms start aching. Those legs won't hold you up. In that time, you're going to need somebody. You're going to need, whether your children, a nurse, your wife, your husband, you're going to need somebody to help you out. No man is an island, and we need to stop playing as if we are. We are in this shit together. We're on this miserable fucking nutball called Earth together. And we're not getting off this son of a bitch until we work together.
That's right.
All right. And on that note, I'm basically 7 minutes over time. I do appreciate you, Judah.
I would, before I'm out, I would like to say, hit me up on Judah Awoke Ace Cash App. Like I said, we got the Step on My Radio, Truth Talk Nation on YouTube. But one last thing I would like to say, True, is I want everybody to check out that Christian Bale movie that's coming out. With the story of John McCain. That right there would give you a lot of shit that's going on right now, which I'm going to see that movie in the theaters because, as you know, John McCain was a cause and behind a lot of the presidents.
And it was also a cause behind a lot of American pilots getting shot down over Vietnam. But
so that movie right there is going to tell you a lot of the bullshit that you knew, but you didn't know.
Wow. Well, we're gonna check that out. What's the name of that movie again, brother? Real quick.
Everybody go see that movie with John McCain, with Christian Bale. Put that on your list. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully we can come back on your show and talk about it.
Oh, absolutely, brother. This ain't the end. This is just the beginning.
Now, I love for you to get on that show, man. Bring Mark on that show, man, because I'm quite sure he can enlighten us on a lot of the topics within that movie.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you for reminding me. I just want to give everyone a shout out too. Tomorrow I have on Rhonda Harper from Black Girl Surfing. She's also the CEO of African Surfers International. Terrific woman. I had a chance to talk to her briefly yesterday. And we're also going to have Mark from Anaheim on as well tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. And you're an hour ahead of me, so it should be 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So please join us for that. I will have the call-in line tomorrow. It'll be open. It'll be probably open up like halfway through the show. I'll do the call-in lines. Just want to give a shout out to Cobra Immortal, CJ, all the folks in the chat room, John, everybody. Just thank you all. And you know, brother Judah, you keep on at it, and we'll talk to you later, brother.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you for having me on, man. Peace, man. I love your show, man.
Peace.
Truth Talk Nation, man.
Thank you, brother.
I love the special report, yo, True.
Thank you, man. And if, you know, I'm just trying to do my little part. Just another piece of the machine. All right, brother.
Peace out, man. Missouri, man. I love Missouri, man. Like I said, we'd be out there.
Right on. Peace, brother.
Peace.
And then real quick, guys, before I take off, I want to show you right here. Should glow in the dark. So hold on 1 second. I'm going to cut this light off, and then we'll see what's up. I don't know if it's showing. I don't think so. It's not, is it? No, it should. Okay, my bad. It won't show. It's too damn dark. All right. Well, anyhow, guys, I'm going to end this in darkness because many of us are actually in darkness. Thank you all. And as always, let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace.